Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Lioness Den. Look, I am so happy to be here with you guys today. You just don't understand. This has been a great morning for us here at the Lioness Den. Look, while we are getting started here, I am Lydia Chapman, and this is Women's History Month. And we are going to have an amazing time today. So I ask you to strap in and let's get it going. I have my phone, and let's do like we always do. So you can see it's on. Let's do like we always do. Let's go to our social media and let's share this broadcast because we want everyone to come on and to enjoy this Women's History Month with us today. So, if you would kindly do me the favor, and I'm going to slow down, I promise, but if you would kindly do me the favor, go over to the Lioness Den. It looks like this. This is what it looks like. And find the broadcast. It looks like that. And then I need you just to share it with your friends and family so that we can get into this episode for today. Look, we're doing something new today. Catch us on Instagram under my name, LC Chapman. This is our first live on Instagram, and we are up, guys. I have checked it out already. So go over to Instagram, check us out. Look, we are here every third Saturday of the month. Usually we're here. Last month, life was happening. And as you can see, we're in a new place. So this month, as you can see, we've kind of done a little different with our background, a little different with our sound. We are moving forward to new things. So like, tag, share, join this community because we are moving forward. If you hadn't noticed, now we are having different hosts every month. In January, we had Miss Adrienne Holloman. Next month, we'll have Miss Kenya Sullivan. And every month this year, it's probably going to be somebody other than myself. But I am still here. I will come on either as a guest or I'm always in the background as the director and producer. So if you haven't shared, please right now hit the share button. It's right there on your screen. Look, see, there's mine on my screen. Share, share, share. Hit the share button. Share, share, share with everybody in your community. Let's try to get as many people on as possible. We're looking for a big number today. So look, share with everybody you know. And now that we have that wonderful opening done, I've talked like 100 miles an hour, guys. I know I talk fast. It happens no matter what I do. My speech is like, but with that said, thank you for joining us, and let's go into the Lioness Den. Hey guys, look, I really hope you like our new opener. This year we tried to do something new, and that is display not only myself, but everyone who's involved in the Lioness Den. Today we're gonna have special presentations from a few of the ladies who are on that opener concerning Women's History Month and women who have caused them to be who they are. Okay. And so this is going to be an awesome time. I'm going to invite a few people in now before I start my spiel on the women who created me, which were, of course, great women without saying. But without further ado, I have done the most, so I'm going to invite everyone in.
Good morning.
We have, I'm going to turn my speaker down until I can get an earphone in my ear. But this morning we have Miss Sulena Olivia and Miss Deana Cruz-Conner. And in a few minutes, we will have Miss Ronnie Maddox and her sister. Ooh, I'm going to talk. I promise y'all, I'm going to get it all together, and my speech is going to clear up in a few minutes. It's going to happen. Sometimes we're just going too fast. We have to slow down. We're slowing down. Um, and I'm getting messages saying, "Somebody mute your mic." Okay. Um, Give me 1 second. Let's see here. What I'm going to do is put in my. You can't hear me, Sulena? Oh, that's awful. We're going to get that fixed in a few seconds. So let me get my mic fixed first, and then we'll get your mic fixed. Again, ladies and gentlemen, this has been an amazing morning today. If you don't know what an amazing morning is like, let me introduce you to amazing. Okay? I am taking my headphones and putting them on so that I can um I think Deana muted herself. That's what just happened. I'm like the sound went away. Okay. Well, we're still working on the sound, but anyway, with that being said then let's try to get this show on the road here. Um okay. I'm having all types of stuff going on this morning. Looks like Miss Sulena had to pop out. Y'all just don't understand. I'm not going to dwell on it. Y'all just don't understand, but this morning we're going to have a great time. Look, please don't log off. We are here. If there are any issues that you see and you have my direct, please, um let me know if it gets better. My co-producer LA Wilson, can you let me know if the sound has gotten better, please? Because I was trying to get that fixed. So if you let me know if it's better, then I can move forward. I don't want to lose any more viewers with this whole sound issue. Okay, that wasn't her. But please let me know. I don't want to lose any more viewers with the sound issue right now that's going on. I'm trying to please be patient with us this morning. We are again coming from a new space, and we are trying to get it uh, the way we need it to be so that we can. Okay, so I hear that it's better now. Wonderful. Okay, let us move forward then with this live. Don't know why my try the other one. But yes, let's move forward with this live. I'm going to add Sulena back in and see if we can possibly. Can we hear you? Can you hear us now, Sulena?
Yes.
Lovely. Isn't that grand?
That's wonderful.
Okay. Good morning. Deana, can you hear us? And can you tell us good morning? Can we hear you just to make sure?
Good
All right.
morning.
So that's where our feedback is. Okay. So we will go slowly coming on, Deana, okay? Because our feedback seems to be coming with you. Ah, Kim is already here. Good morning, Kim.
Good morning. How are you? Hey,
Okay.
how are you? How is there? How are everybody? How's everybody?
I'm
Good.
great. I'm
Good,
great. I'm
good.
great. All right, and we're still waiting for one more, but I'm going to get started now. I will present first. Sulena will follow me, and then we'll do Deana, and we'll end up with Ronnie and Kim. All right, ladies.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to be about 15 minutes, I promise, or less. So, good morning, everyone. Um, as you know, I truly, truly enjoy being on the Lioness Den. And what we try to bring here is different topics that help just everyone. If you have not, please like, share, and tag this with the people you know. Um, we are here every um, third Saturday of the month. And we make sure that we bring topics that are relevant to us as women and to our communities. And so this is Women's History Month. And because it's Women's History Month, what we want to do today is share something about women's history. So today I'll be sharing something on my history as a woman and who created me. And then the ladies who come behind me will do the same. So join in. Please comment. Please comment. Let us know that you are there. Let us know that you are listening. Let us know if there is a topic that you want us to share about that we haven't done so yet. Okay. With that being said, I made a whole little presentation today. Just wanted to be a little fancy. So I will start off with my mom, who is the biggest contributor to my history and to my family. And she is a woman, so she's a contributor to our women's history also. My mom, Julia Chapman, was born March the 23rd, 1952. And if you know me, then you know her because I am a lot like her. My mother, she was a worker. She was always working on something. She was very creative. Um, she basically raised us alone. And so she was the mother of 6 children. If you are a mom of more than one, I take my hat off to you because it is an amazing feat to raise multiple children. I promise you, I have seen things with my mother, and I know that when you have multiple children, there's a lot of responsibility. My mom had 6 of us. Anyone who knows me, I have 8 siblings, but 6 belong to my mom, and my other 2 siblings are from my dad. And so she took care of all 6 of us, 2 sets of 3, 3 older ones and 3 younger ones. She kept us in homes. She made sure we ate. She made sure we were taught in the way of God. She made sure we went to school. She just did everything. My mother was, now I need you to wait for it because this is going to be something that you may not hear often. My mother was a seamstress, a mechanic, a hairdresser, a cook, a floor buffer. She used to buff floors. Um, she just did it all. If it could be done, Julia Geneva Chapman did it. I promise you. She worked about 50 jobs from the time I was born until she left. She was a caretaker. She was a medical assistant where she would go around to people's houses and take care of folk. Older people, she would be their companion. Because she was a CNA, so she was a certified nursing assistant. So she did just about everything. So when people say, how do you keep going and doing so much? This is the answer to that question. Julia Geneva Chapman. She did everything and she raised us, and there are 6 of us. And I want to say that none of us are in jail. None of us are on drugs. We are all viable people in society. Not to say that anyone else isn't. That's not what I'm saying at all. But I'm saying what my mother did with us. She kept us in church. She taught us the ways of God. And even when we sometimes decided to do our own thing, she was right there to say, hey, come on back, do this right, do that right. And when we didn't, she still prayed for us. That is a mother indeed, but it's also how our women do, especially our African American women. We raise our kids, we take care of them, and we try to rear them in the right direction. And when they don't, sometimes we knock their head off. Because there's a few times my mother got on me, and I'm not talking about words, but it was all for my best. I'm better today because she was and she is who she is. So this is my salute to Julia Geneva Chapman. My family had multiple women, so I want to go one generation above her and talk about the other 2 ladies because I only had 15 minutes, so I don't want to run over time. The next lady who was a major component of my life and is a major component to a lot of women was Mother Martha Olivia Bonds. Martha Bonds, as many of us called her Sams, she liked to call herself Charles, and she called herself Charles because she said she was Charles in Charge. I don't know how many of you ever seen that show. Many years ago, there was a show called Charles in Charge. If you remember, Charles wasn't really in charge, but Charles definitely was the one who was set to be in charge. The difference in Charles and my grandmother is my grandmother was really in charge. If you ever met her, you would know that Martha Olivia Bonds was always in charge. She kept the church going. She assisted my grandfather, who was Bishop William Bonds Jr. She also raised 3 children. My grandmother was a seamstress, and she would always tell us stories about working at London Fog and getting up and getting to work, and how it took time to get there, but because they had a family that they needed to take care of, she wasn't home. She was out there helping to prepare and take care of her family financially outside the home and inside the home by just taking care of washing the clothes and making sure her daughter was in pretty dresses, because she loved to talk about the pretty dresses she liked to buy my mother, taking care of her sons. My grandmother has been an inspiration because my grandmother in her 40s decided to go back and get her bachelor's degree, something she had never had before. She always wanted to go to school. She was a early childhood education major at CCB before, or Baltimore City Community College, whatever they're calling it today, before she went to Howard University and graduated with her bachelor's in theology. Now, for her, it meant a lot. Education was everything. And so she would always tell us, go to school, get the paper, and then you can get the job that you want. You don't just have to have the job that they will give you. And so I salute my grandmother today, because many of you who know me, I've decided to go back to school and I'm working on my degree and I'm in my 40s. So the Bible says to train up a child in the way that they should go, and when they are old, they will not depart from it. And so I ain't gonna say old, y'all, but I'm older now. And what she has trained me to do is still coming back. I still hear the her words coming back, coming back, coming back. And so yeah, that is just major for me. And so that is Mother Martha Olivia Bonds. My very last women's history person for me. I think I took the liberty, since I was the host of the show, to do more than others. So y'all forgive me, because if you guys wanted to do more than one, I'm sorry. I just had mine together and I knew what I was going to do. But my last and final grandmother to talk about is Laura Naomi Samuel. Now, most people would call her the Quiet Storm. And she was the Quiet Storm because she was the quietest lady you ever met until she wasn't. Really, you would never hear a cross word from her. She was always the sweet lady in church who sat like this and would rock back and forth. When she had to say something, she said it, but a lot of times she just stayed very quiet. She was an amazing mom. Amazing. My aunts aren't here today with me, but if they were, they would tell you how amazing she was. I remember being at her house, and every morning at 5 a.m., you would hear the swish of slippers on the floor. She would get up, she would make breakfast for everybody in the house. She would put it in these little containers and put it on the kitchen table, and then she would go to work. She did this every morning like clockwork, including Saturday and Sunday. She never took a day off. She always took care of family. She was also a seamstress. So if you notice, both of my grandmothers and my mother were all seamstress. So of course, I know how to sew because they all knew how to sew. And from time to time, they say, hey, come over here. Watch what I'm doing. We look at the movie The Color Purple now, and we see how the mother shows her how to stitch with the needle. But this was an actual thing in my life where my grandmothers showed us how to sew. At church, we had a women's club, and in the women's club, they taught you how to sew. So every time you came to women's meeting, you need to have something to be able to do something during that women's meeting, because as women, we just don't sit down. We are always doing something. And that's what I learned from my grandmothers. Laura Naomi, she was one of a kind. She was over the pastor's aide at church, but at home, she was like the best. Um, she would do all of our hair when we were at her house. Of course, I was the first one to get called down because I had the most coarse hair. So she would call me at like 6 o'clock in the morning to do my hair because she had to straighten it and press it out. I will never have another straighten comb in my hair, people. Please understand, I've had enough. But Laura Naomi was the one who would do my hair, would take the time with me when it came down to hair and stuff like that. And so I have taken up a little bit more than I was supposed to. So I am going to scoot out of here. But with that being said, these are the women who created me. They made me who I am. And thank you for listening. Now, I am going to step to the side and I am going to bring Miss Sulena Olivia to the stage. Oh, and she has music, y'all. Look at that. And so at this time, I will turn the stage over to Miss Sulena Olivia.
Well, hello, my name is Sulena Olivia. As the illustrious host and visionary behind this platform of Lioness Den, CEO of HDK Productions, has said, I'm going to flow a little differently than she did. However, the tribute that I'm doing is for the honor of Deborah, a judge that we know from the Bible, as well as a present day, now late, she has gone on to be with the Lord some time ago, Mammy Kilgore, my great grandmother. Okay, so Deborah, and a present day Deborah in my life, in my family's life, she was a matriarch, the grandmother of my father, Gregory Morris, the mother of my grandmother, Evelyn Morris. And I will share toward the end of the presentation why her. There are many women who have had major impact in my life, but choosing Deborah and choosing her are because of what you're going to hear now. When they let down their hair in Israel, they let it blow wild in the wind. The people volunteered with abandon. Bless God. Hear, O kings, listen, O princes. To God, yes, to God, I'll sing. Make music to God, the God of Israel. God, when you left Seir, marched across the fields of Edom. Earth quaked, yes, the skies poured rain. Oh, the clouds made rivers. Mountains leapt before God, the Sinai God, before God, the God of Israel. In the time of Shamgar, son of Anath, and in the time of Jael, public roads were abandoned. Travelers went by back roads. Warriors became fat and sloppy. No fight left in them. Then you, Deborah, you, Deborah, you, Deborah, rose up. You got up, a mother in Israel. God chose new leaders who then fought at the gates, and not a shield or spear to be seen among the 40 companies of Israel. Lift your hearts high, O 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 Israel, with abandon, volunteering yourselves with the people. Bless God. Lift your hearts, Israel. Lift your hearts, O Israel. A leader of leaders, non-traditional, but undeniably a woman of God, a a judge, a leader. Lydia, please confirm that you can still hear me. I had a technical issue. Okay. A leader of leaders, a woman of Yahweh, a woman of God. Every cell of my heart not only loves God, but loves the people of God. I will do whatever it takes to ensure that my people, God's people, my people, God's people are properly represented and have the strength and fortitude to walk this life, this journey, whatever authority I must speak to, whatever authority I must stand in front of. I love my people. No matter what decisions I have to make, no matter what things I have to give up, I love God's people. I love God. Therefore, Barack, let's do this. You ready? Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. Because there is a woman coming years and years and years from now that will be in my same spirit. Her name is Mammy Kilgore. And she will stand and lead and will be a woman of many skills. But I must lead because she is an offspring that's coming of this people. And if I don't stand, she won't stand. If I don't fight, she won't fight. If I am selfish now and hide in the shadows, she won't step into the light. So I will stand in the light and talk to the authorities that be and fight and stand and lead and guide for her. So here she comes, Mammy Kilgore. Here she comes, here she comes, here she comes. Hi. I am a leader of leaders. I sing, and I raise funds, and I cook. I am one who, in the Women's Convention of the Grand Old Church of God in Christ. In fact, I'm wearing a garment that represents the spirit that I operate in. The judge, the leading lady, Deborah. I'm a lot like her, you know. It's hundreds of years later, but I'm a lot like her. And just as she carried in her heart the people of God, I do too. I love God. I love my family. And I see a man who, as a little boy, will stand before those much older than him and preach the gospel. And then he will grow up to be a pastor and a husband and a father. And oh, yeah, his wife is beautiful. And she has 2. Oh, no, 3. This third one, this third child, is a lot like me. Yeah, she sings. She can lift a hood on a car and look at an auto part and know what it is. I'm a little better at that than she will be, but it's okay. Her name is Sulena Olivia Morris. And just as I love the people of God, she will. Just as I lead, she will. In fact, every time she hears about me, she will hear herself. Every time she sees a picture, in fact, I'm in a moment right now where I'm holding her. She's here. She's here, I'm holding her, and she doesn't know this yet. She will grow into it, but I have prayed for her. And the prayers that I prayed, the prayers that I prayed will manifest, they will come to pass, and she will draw from the strength of these prayers and be all that God has called her to be. And she, no matter what it takes, like Deborah, no matter what it takes, like me, she will do what is necessary. She will have many fights. She will have many moments where she will wonder what's next and why me, God. But her hand will be put to the plow, and God's hand is on her, just as his hand is on me. Little one, as I hold you now, know that God is always with you. Hi guys, it's Sulena. I know I went from person to person, but it's me now. And this tribute is special to me because I am Deborah. I am Mammy Kilgore. And to give tribute to such women of strength, there's not enough time in the day to list their accolades, their accomplishments. So I'll sum it up in this. The strength of Deborah that she walked in traveled many, 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 many years into the future. And her history, her mark in history, marked the forehead of my great-grandmother. And her mind was brilliant. And I have recently embraced that I am her. It still takes a lot of strength to say it. And in this moment, thank you, Lydia, for inviting me to do this. I didn't realize that. This is more than a tribute. This is actually very divine and prophetic. So I say yes. I say yes, Deborah, to this. I say yes, Mammy Kilgore. Thank you for being you. Thank you for saying yes to God. Thank you for leading God's people. Thank you for saying yes to the call, and I say yes with you.
Sulena, that was beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing. We definitely appreciate you sharing just that wonderful journey with us, because it was a journey. So thank you for sharing. You hold on. I'm going to talk to you in a few minutes, but I got to put the next person up, which is Miss Deana Cruz-Conner.
Hi, I hope you're not getting any feedback.
I think it's kind of clear, but it is coming from your end.
I'm sorry. It's nothing going on in the house.
It's okay. What I'm going to do, it's the my talking coming back through your computer. So I'm going to get off and let you talk. Okay? So
Okay.
here we go. I'm going to add.
So the person that I selected to share is my great, great, great aunt, Blanche Ellen King Taylor. As you can see, she is on the screen. When I say great, 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 that means that Aunt Blanche was at one time the elder of 5 generations with the birth of my daughter. Aunt Blanche was my grandfather's aunt, and she was a phenomenal woman, just amazing. She was born April 26th of 1917, and she closed her eyes on this side of glory on June 3rd of 2010. She was 93 years old. As an occupation, she was a nurse's aide with U.S. Public Health and Military Hospital, where she worked until she retired in 1971. She was married to my uncle, great great uncle, who was Edinburgh Taylor. They married in 1956, and she took care of him until he died of illness in 72. My aunt was a extremely loving and caring person, always taking care of and nurturing other people. Her husband was a merchant marine who traveled all over the world, and he worked in. He was a sailor who was involved in trading, and he would come into the ports from time to time. They would be away, and he would come into the ports, and he would always bring exotic things. We have some things that she still gave us to this day from when he left. Blanche was not able to have kids on her own due to health issues, but she was a mother, a godmother, and a grandmother to so many. In fact, she was my grandfather's godmother. She was my mother's godmother, and she was my godmother. Aunt Blanche helped to raise us. She was very integral in helping to raise us and make sure that we were able to have school clothes, get to and from school, make sure that we could go to college, make sure that we had everything that we needed. Blanche was very supportive in the sense that she cared for so many, including church. Her church family was amazing and a huge part of her life. As an adult, she became a member of Northwood Aphold United Methodist Church, which is right on the corner of Cold Spring and Loch Raven. And she and Uncle Eddie were one of the first Black families there. They were there from the early 70s, the late 60s, early 70s, late 60s, because Uncle Eddie's even homegoing service was there, and the first Black pastor that was there was Reverend Hal Henderson. If you're not familiar with the United Methodist Church, normally every 4 to 6 years, you would get a new pastor. Well, Aunt Blanche was on the welcoming committee. She made herself the welcoming committee, and she was the hospitality committee for all of the pastors and their families who came into the church. She would love on them and welcome them and help them to get acclimated into the church, into the state, because some of them have moved from different states, into the neighborhood, what have you. She was very involved in committees at the church, from finance to the women's ministries and flower ministries and sick and shut in. She celebrated people so much so that she would even do birthday celebrations monthly for persons at the church. Blanche was huge on making sure that no one was left out, that she would find you. If you had been away from the church for a long time, she would come and find you and make sure that you were okay. She would send cards and send flowers, and just she wanted to make sure everyone knew that they were loved. She was known to all as Aunt Blanche. When when I was coming up, and I was a member of the church as well from the time that I was 6. When I was coming up, everybody just called her Aunt Blanche. Half of the people didn't even know who she was actually related to, because She was everybody's auntie. She was everybody's aunt. Even Pastor Henderson and his family called her moms because they just adopted her that way, and she them. Um, let's see some of her favorite things to do, because she was, like I said, she was a nurse's aide, and she was very nurturing and caring. Some of her favorite things were to make sure that everyone was felt included. She would go to nursing homes, she would go to senior centers, she would go and volunteer in the community. When she was 72 years old, she got an award for being an outstanding member of the community, a person who cared, from Channel 13 News. And Channel 13 honored her in that way. She used to work at McDonald's, and she would make salads, and she would go and see the seniors and go and help with the young people who would come in after school, because they would have after school programs back then, a long time ago. Like I said, she would visit the sick and the shut in. She would read to residents. She would cook and clean and give gifts for those who were not able to. If you were bedridden or you were not able to do it yourself, she would come and help. It was not a problem. And she herself was in her 70s, um, and her 80s. She served meals at the soup kitchen for years, and she even worked for a prevention as a suicide prevention counselor, on hotlines, when people called in, as well as being in person. Aunt Blanche our family was from the Eastern Shore, from Cambridge and Queen Anne County, and she would organize trips every year to make sure that not only our family, but anyone who came from that region, that they stayed connected to their family, they stayed connected to their roots. We had a home church in Cambridge that we would go to every year around Memorial Day, and she would organize a bus trip so that we could all go and stay connected and go to Oldfield and see the grave sites of where our family for generations have been buried. She was integral in setting up the uh, the restoration of that cemetery, so that everyone had new headstones, had the grounds were taken care of, things of that nature. It was important to her. Um, but she was huge on making sure that family stayed together. She was huge on making sure that everyone was connected to someone. So if you happened to come to the church and you didn't have any family because you were a student at Morgan and you were by yourself, Aunt Blanche was your aunt. She was the one that would love on you and take care of you. She loved fashion. She loved getting her nails and her hair done. She loved perfume. I can remember her doing always going to Hat Company getting white diamonds. I can remember just spending time with her every day after school. I would go to her house, and she would help me with schoolwork until my mom got home. Those were some of the most fond memories, just being around friends and family. Um, I did not prepare a lot, because I knew a lot of people would be talking, but I just wanted to give you a glimpse into the life of my Aunt Blanche, who who was at 90 years old, was still driving herself around and still wearing her high heels. She was very, very loving, and she is the reason that I am now elder Deana Cruz, and Deana Cruz-Conner, and she's the reason that I am saved. She took me to church when I was 6 years old, and I've been and she instilled in us a love for God and a love for God's people. She instilled in us a love for His Word, a love for the music that stirs the soul. She used to love sitting to listen to Mahalia Jackson, and she would always ask me to sing songs for her. Um, but she was a wonderful, wonderful woman, and I'm so grateful that we had 5 generations from Blanche Ellen King Taylor. Thank you so much for listening.
I thought I added myself back. Can you hear me still?
Mhm.
Okay. So, thank you so much, Dana. Again, I will talk to you backstage in a minute. I loved Aunt Blanche. She used to make greens. Let me tell y'all, Aunt Blanche used
Girl,
to
that
make.
was on my paper, but I didn't say it. She made the best greens melt in your mouth, and she did tell me how to make them. So my mom said I got it down, but she's still mad because I won't tell her how to do
Yes. So I can't hear you. Give me 1 second. I can't hear you. No, it's okay. It's because I had to turn the computer off. What I'm gonna do is that's okay. I'm gonna talk to you after this is over. But thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And we will move on because there's two ladies coming behind you who are amazing. Hey everyone. So my last two ladies, I'm gonna bring them on the stage real quick here. Miss Kim and Miss Ronnie, Miss Kim Baker and Miss Ronnie Maddox. Now, y'all, these my sisters. I'm gonna tell y'all that now. Can y'all hear me? Kim and Ronnie.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
So
Can you
Kim
hear
and
us?
Ronnie are my yeah, I can hear y'all. Kim and Ronnie are my sisters, y'all. They like Esther, Rachel, all them. Kim and Ronnie on it. They the other two, but they my older sisters. I get to call them my older sisters. And they were so kind to share their amazing mom with me. She was amazing. I'm not gonna cry. I'm gonna let y'all cry because I know y'all gonna do it. I'm gonna get out the way as Kim and Ronnie share their um a minute. There she is. There she is. We're going to nope, let's do it this way. I'm gonna leave, but I'm gonna let Kim and Ronnie tell you about the illustrious as the glorious Ash.
Hello, everyone. Hey, my sister Kim. Love you.
Hello. Hello, everyone.
Hi, Lydia. Thank you so much for having us
Yes.
today. We're just going to talk about our mom, uh, Pastor Glorious Ash. Uh, she passed away February of 2023. And today we just want to talk about her and the awesome things that she did. I just want to, we're just going to gloat on her for these few minutes. My mom, Glorious Ash, she raised three of us. We have a brother besides my sister and myself. I'm the oldest. My sister is the middle child, and we have a younger brother. And she was a single parent. And we were raised by a tough lady, I must say. She took great care of us. Even though she was single, I can never remember going hungry. I never remember us. We always had a roof over our heads.
Yes. Yes.
Always had nice clothes to wear. My mother dressed us now. I mean, I
Yes,
had
she
a
did.
teacher once that wanted to know who dresses you. I had to connect her with my mom. This particular teacher was a choir director, and she wanted to know, how could she get some of the clothes that mom would put on myself and my sister. My mom was like a jack of all trades. It wasn't nothing she did not know. My brother used to say she should have been a lawyer.
Yes.
I remember
Yes.
one time I fell, I broke my leg. I did not retain a lawyer. My mom handled that whole thing for me. She got me some money too. And so she was an awesome person. I'm basically talking about her in our younger years. My sister will take up the slack for my mom's older years, but
Um, all through her life, she was a great cook. Every
Yeah.
Friday we had fish, fried
Yes.
fish,
Yes.
cornbread, and fried potatoes.
Yeah.
We always had Thanksgiving. She was good with that. She was the kind of parent that she took us places, even if
Yeah.
we had to catch the bus.
Yeah.
We used to catch the bus to I forget the name of that park. It was an amusement park, Gwen Oak. I don't
Gwynedd
people my
Park. Yeah.
age. Yeah, you remember that? Yeah, people my age, my sister's age, they might remember that. We used to catch the bus all the way out Gwen Oak Park.
Yes, we
And she
did.
took us there quite often. We went
Yeah.
bowling, we went to the movies, we
Yes.
went roller skating. I mean, she didn't keep us from those. We went shopping. I mean, my mom, she showed us what I believe was a good life for a single parent.
Yes.
Um, she loved cooking and singing while she cooked.
Yes. Yes.
And she oftentimes would teach me songs while she cooked. And I'm not going to take up a lot of time. I just want to sing just a little bit of a song. It's an amazing. It was called Amazing Grace. It's a familiar song. She used to sing this quite often when we were younger. She used to sing with a group called the Caesar Specials, and they used to go around Baltimore singing. This was Shirley Caesar's brother. They used
Mm-hmm.
to go around Baltimore singing everywhere. My mom used to sing this song uh, called Amazing Grace. Before I sing that, my mom also put a group together, a family group. We were called the Dominions of Christ,
Mm-hmm.
which included myself, my aunt, her two kids, my mother's goddaughter, at the time, my sister's husband. And we would just go around everywhere singing. We had an anniversary every year. I mean, it was just never a dull moment, just never a dull moment. But I just want to sing her rendition. This is how she would sing it. This is how she did sing it. And it goes like this. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me.
Sing,
You
Ronnie.
know,
Yes.
I once was lost, but right now I am found. Was blind, said blind, but now I see. And then she would have the whole church rocking with, I'm talking about Amazing Grace. And I ain't gonna go any further, but she would wear the church out singing her Amazing Grace song.
You did.
So Kim, go ahead, girl. Take it up from there.
All right. So Ronnie was so true and dead on everything that she said. But our mom was a praying mom. She was a prayer warrior. She believed in the power of prayer. She taught us to
Amen.
pray, taught us how
Yes.
to pray, and taught us that prayer changes things. And those are the
Yes.
things that were strongly with my mom. And pray until something happens. Pray without
Yes.
ceasing. And
Yes.
I can remember, at one point we did catch the bus, but we then obtained a little green Nova car, which would cut off in the
Yes.
rain. And I can remember us praying, okay, to get that
Yes.
car started because we want to go home. And she would pray and pray, and she'd say, y'all pray too. And we
Yes, she
all would
did.
be in that car praying, and that
Praying.
car would start up. And we would be so happy
It
that we're
would.
able to
It would
now
stop.
go home. But those are the things that I remember. I remember my mother praying through
Yes.
pain, praying to get bills paid. And then she later married, and they opened up a church. Her and Bishop Ernest Ash which was our dad, and my mom, Dr. Glorious Ash, and they fed so many people. But even in church, the power of prayer was so strong. She taught us that, faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of
Yes.
things not seen. And we strongly believed in the power of prayer. But I can remember my mother always also singing this song. If I couldn't say a
Yes.
word,
Yes.
if
Hallelujah.
I couldn't say a word,
Yes.
if I couldn't say a word, I could just wave my hand, oh Lord. Those are the songs
Yes.
that stuck with us, that she was known
Hallelujah.
for. Songs like Help, Lord, We Need Your
Yeah.
Help. Those are the things that our matriarch often always said, always sang. So thank you, Lydia, for having us. This was a really beautiful thing that we were able to honor our loved ones, the ones that
Yes.
taught us something to hold on to, our values, our morals, things to live for, things to stand on, stand strong for. So we thank you for the opportunity to be able to say those things. Thank you.
Thank you, Lydia.
Oh my goodness, guys. Kim, I didn't know you could sing like that, girl. You better go ahead. You better go ahead. I'm telling you, you better go, Kim. I really appreciate you guys. Your mom made such an amazing impression on me. Ronnie knows how at one point I had my siblings, and they were living with me. And me and Ronnie was friends, and Ronnie said, Lydia, come on, go with me, because we got to pick this food up for mommy and get it up to the church, because she got her food giveaway today. I'm like, all right, I went for the ride. So I get in the church with Ronnie, and we taking the stuff in, and we about to leave, and your mother turns and says, did you get anything? And I said, no, ma'am. Stop being proud and come get some of this stuff, girl. Get some of this stuff and take it home. And I was like, yes, ma'am.
But Lydia, I also want to say one thing. My mother, I watched her even on her sick bed when she would be in the hospital. We were bringing bags of food to the nurses. Okay,
Thank you.
when
Yes.
she rode the mobility bus, she had
To
us
the bus
preparing
drivers.
food for the mobility drivers. Okay, so she
Yes.
was always giving food. It was always somebody she wanted to bless with some food.
Yeah, she was just, I remember the one time I called her. What did I say, Ronnie? Something. I think I said Pastor Ash or something. She said, my name
Yeah,
is
she
Dr.
corrected you.
Dr. Ash, yes.
Dr. Ash. I said, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I loved it. I really, really loved your mom. She was an amazing
Yes,
woman.
very direct. Meant
Just
what she
very
said, said
direct.
what she meant.
Yes, she
Yes.
did. Yes,
I mean,
yes.
all the way till the end. I will never
Oh, yeah.
forget. Me and Ronnie would talk about your mom when she was in the hospital, and I kept
Yes,
saying
so
to
strong.
Ronnie is, oh, if she decided that she want to get up, you better understand that Glorious Ash is gonna get up and go do what she want to
You
do.
want to do,
And
yes.
that's just how I always
Yes.
saw her, because she was always, once she said that it was gonna happen, it was
She made
going
it happen.
to
She made it.
happen.
Yes, yes.
She was just such a wonderful lady. I want to bring the other ladies back in. Deana, your mic is muted. You can leave it muted because we're getting a little feedback from you. And Sulena is here. Ladies, 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 to all of you. This has been an amazing hour, and I appreciate you all. Let's see. I think I am stuck. Are you guys seeing me?
You
Yes.
just stuck.
Okay.
You frozen.
I'm stuck, right? I'm stuck. Okay. Give me.
Uh-oh. We should sing a song.
Speaking of singing songs, I thoroughly enjoyed both you and
Oh, thank you. We enjoyed y'all
Absolutely.
too.
We enjoyed y'all too.
Yes, yes.
Wow.
Everything was
It's
beautiful.
amazing, the women in our lives, what they teach us.
And
Sometimes they
the
don't even
impact
realize
that
that
they
they're
had on
teaching us.
us. Yes,
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. It's a
Mm-hmm.
great thing.
Deana, you just lit as
Absolutely.
you were talking about. I felt like I was meeting the women that you all were talking about. And Deana, I
Mm-hmm.
felt we were seeing the face that you would make when you were around her.
Oh, and I think I saw that
Yeah.
episode of her on Channel 13. I remember that picture. Yes, I
Oh,
remember that picture.
that's
Did Lydia get lost?
it was so.
Yeah.
Come on, Lydia. You want us to end the show?
And we're actually past time. It's past.
Hmm. You should play something on the piano, Sulena.
I done put the keyboard up and took the
Oh,
off.
you put
Here
that
we go.
keyboard
Here's
up.
Lydia. Here's Lydia.
Lydia did that on purpose to see what we would do.
So I don't know if you guys can hear me. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, because I am now on my phone. For some reason, it seems like my internet is having issues today.
Okay.
But it does not matter. Where there is a will, there's most certainly a way. And if anyone who knows me, you know I do not give up. I learned it honestly from the women who raised me.
Yeah.
But to every one of you, like you guys were saying, I could hear you, but I couldn't see you. Thank you all. Each and every woman that was talked about this morning, they were amazing ladies. And so I just thank you all for coming and being so open about your matriarchs and what their contribution to your history as a woman has been. Um, Dina, you know, Aunt Blanche was my girl forever. And Selena, I never met your grandmother, but like you said about Dina's aunt and Ronnie's mom, it was from your presentation. We just got to just kind of sit at her feet for a moment and see what she was like. To everyone who has joined us today, thank you for your patience, even with our technical issues. Thank you so much for your patience. I appreciate you all for continuing to just come in and join us every week, every third week of the month. Um, let's see here. I'm going to let these ladies, there we go. Ladies, we're about to end, but as we end, I want to remind everyone that Life Happens is coming up this October. We have a special, which is $79 going on right now. And I encourage everyone to sign up for Life Happens this year. Um, if you check us out on Facebook, there is a link to registration. Last year we had an amazing time. Am I right, the ladies who were in the room? Could you just share? Did we not have an amazing time last year?
Amazing, amazing.
Amazing time. And so, with that being said, please join us. There will be more advertisement for the Life Happens conference. Check us out next month in April, where we're having autism awareness, and our guest host will be Kenya Sullivan and some ladies who are
Mm.
dealing with, and not dealing with, they have kids who are autistic. They're not dealing with it. They love their kids, they're taking care of them, and they're making it happen. So join us next week to get next month to get pointers on autism awareness. We just thank you all. We really, really appreciate you joining us one more time. And check us out later. Love you all. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Thank you again.